Hi guys, so in this video we're going to talk about what freelancing platform is the best for you and why. And this is going to be my personal opinion. It's not going to be the be all and end all of this particular topic, but hopefully I'm going to give you some pointers and some guide as to how to pick the best freelancing platform. And I'm not going to waste your time also. If you follow this channel, you already know what my answer to this question would be. And the answer is Fiverr.com. Yes, I might be a little biased because I am a top rated seller on the platform, been on there for about 5 years. And also a community leader on the platform. But don't think that this will form the basis for my bias. I am also a member of other freelancing platforms like Upwork and Freelancer.com. I do not think that one is better than the other. I'm just saying which one might be the best for you. And also the fact that I'm more active on Fiverr and have risen up to the ranks on that platform means that I have a lot of experience, and anything I'm sharing with you right now actually comes from a place of experience. So without any further ado, let's get into these reasons that I have for you guys. Number one is that Fiverr has a very wide range of customers compared to any other freelancing platform. According to a report by the United States Security and Exchange Commission (SEC), Fiverr has over 5.5 million active buyers and an approximated 830,000 sellers on the platform. They've also processed over $700 million in gross merchandise value, which solidifies Fiverr's authority and dominance when it comes to the freelance space. Fiverr is very all-encompassing when it comes to skill and also pricing. So they cater for sellers of different skill levels and skill sets, from the people who are beginners to pros. And then they also cater for any type of budget for individuals, entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, and even big companies. So from small to very big budget buyers can actually use the platform. And that's the reason for its huge customer base and user base generally. It means that whatever level you are when it comes to freelancing as a seller or even as a buyer, you can confidently use the platform. So places like Upwork sell themselves as being where you find professionals of the highest level. And this may not always be the best for even the sellers and the buyers. There are people who are trying to grow in ranks, who are trying to grow even in skill, and they're not confident to take thousands of dollars from their buyers when they have not really mastered their craft. So a place like Fiverr can give those sellers who are just growing that platform to sell their services, and also buyers who don't mind a little less quality because they also have very little to spend. They can also find these sellers with low skills, and everybody wins and everybody is carried along. And that's one big plus in my opinion. A lot of people think that this is such a terrible thing, but if you think about it, it's a really big advantage for everyone. The second reason is the Fiverr system and process is very easy for both the buyers and the sellers to understand. If you come on a platform and you need to go through a course or go through a class or have somebody guide you step by step to be able to use the platform, then it could become quite tedious. I know this for places like Upwork and Freelancer.com. I remember when I first got on, it was so difficult for me to sort out taking payments. I didn't really understand the platform, and till this day sometimes it gets quite daunting for me to wrap my head around the system of doing the job, delivering and receiving payments. It could get quite confusing. But on Fiverr, everything is very simple for you to understand. You go on there, it's like a marketplace. You find your ideal seller and then you pay them. Fiverr holds the money. Once they deliver, the money is remitted back to the seller and you get your job, and everybody goes their separate ways. Very simple, very easy to understand. And I think it's one of the reasons why you're going to make more sales as a seller on the platform, because buyers find it easy to make the purchase and have you do their projects. That is a plus in my books. Number three is that Fiverr has a true marketplace setup, which makes it easy for sellers to set up their gigs really fast. It's very similar to how an e-commerce store will set up their products, their physical products or even digital products on an e-commerce store online to sell to their clients. It's very easy. So you set up your gig and it's a one-time setup. You don't have to send proposals every single time just to land a job. Once you set up that gig, buyers can come on, look at your gig, go through your samples and decide whether or not they are going to hire you. And you don't have to go through this process every single time. Point number four is you still have the option to go to the buyers through the buyer request feature, kind of like how you would send proposals on Upwork. So you still have that option. I know that the previous point we talked about how Fiverr is set up as a marketplace, so it's a one-time set and forget thing, and then the sellers can come on and look at your samples and then hire you, so you don't have to go to them, they come to you. But with the buyer request feature on Fiverr, you can actually go to the buyer and actually send proposals and present yourself, kind of like Upwork, and still land a job that way. So that is not entirely eliminated when it comes to Fiverr. Point number 5 is Fiverr's escrow system of payment makes it easy for clients to pay you and also drastically reduces the chance of being scammed, even for the sellers and the buyers. So the process is you are paid by the client and the money sits in Fiverr's wallet, and then when you deliver the project as a seller and the buyer looks at it and approves the delivery, then the money will be sent to the seller. Yes, oftentimes some buyers would want to scam sellers by receiving a delivery and asking and trying to cancel the order. 9 times out of 10, Fiverr's support will come in and mediate between the buyer and the seller and try to reach a favorable end for both parties. I know I've been in this situation before and the Fiverr support was phenomenal. I think it's the best when it comes to this type of setup where the buyer and the seller do not meet face to face to talk through things. So the people who have set up this platform, in this case Fiverr, should be coming in between to make sure there are no problems when it comes to payment. Point number 6 is that on Fiverr you can literally grow in ranks from a level 1 seller to the top rated level and even join the Fiverr Pro. And a lot of people talk about Fiverr in a negative light because of the whole idea of being a $5 for everything platform. They've long evolved from that, but then people still look at it as a place where you get really low quality work. But that's not true because there are various levels. And it's also important to note that the fact that a seller is level 1 does not mean that they are not experienced or do not have the necessary skills to deliver top quality work. In fact, you can apply for Fiverr Pro without even getting to the top rated level. This is because Fiverr understands that people can come in and regardless of the level they are on the platform, they can actually be at the top of the echelon when it comes to their niche or their field of endeavor. Fiverr is a platform where it's not just locked in. You don't have to wait until you get to a particular level with your skill before you sign up. So wherever you are, Fiverr meets you there. If you're a beginner, you can start on Fiverr. If you are top notch when it comes to your skills that you deliver, you're very skilled, very trained, you can also find a place for yourself on Fiverr. And also the amount of money that you can make on the platform, there is no cap to that as well. Point number 7 is Fiverr, I think, has a very decent support. In my experience, I have had issues where I had to contact support 9, maybe 10 times or even more, and every single time the issue was resolved, and it was resolved promptly. So Fiverr support is industry standard. Point number 8, and this one is very, very important. I think that this makes Fiverr unique, makes Fiverr different from every other freelance platform, and it's the fact that Fiverr is constantly evolving. You know, remember they started from being the $5 for everything platform, but they have evolved from that. They've added so many new features that makes them distinct from every other platform. You have the levels on Fiverr from level 1 to top rated seller. You have the Fiverr Pro, which is kind of like Upwork. So in essence, you can say that Upwork is a subset of Fiverr because Upwork prides itself to be where you have top rated sellers exclusively working. But on Fiverr Pro, that's exactly the same thing. Hand vetted sellers who are top level selected to be on Fiverr Pro. So they're constantly adding new things. And also there is the subscriptions. That is a new feature on Fiverr, which means that you can pay a seller based on subscriptions. And a lot of people used to say that Upwork is good if you want to do long term. Now you can also do that on Fiverr with Fiverr subscriptions. So let's say you hire somebody who is a web designer and they've designed a website and now you want them to maintain it for maybe a period of 1 year. You can pay a subscription for 1 year and have that seller maintain your website, maybe upload content and do all of that stuff for the period of 1 year. So you can also set up long-term contracts with sellers now on Fiverr. So constantly they are adding on new features, making it easy for buyers and sellers to go about their business and have the best workflow. So in a nutshell, I think that Fiverr is an amazing place for you to start your freelance journey, become a seller, and even as a buyer for you to get the best talent to work on your project. But then again, that's not to say all the other platforms are no good. Of course, they are amazing. I'm part of most of them. But Fiverr is just my personal favorite and the place where I've had the most success. Let me know in the comment section if you are a freelancer, what platforms you use and what challenges you face. And also as a buyer, what platform do you think is the best when it comes to hiring services of professionals? That will be all for this video. Consider watching this one next and I will see you guys later.